It's mid-autumn and we've had a lot of rain overnight, so now's the perfect time to be applying a mulch. Now, mulching is possibly one of the best things you can do for your borders, and there's lots of different mulches that you can choose. There's things that are more decorative, like the aggregates, the slate, the shingle, but I prefer these biodegradable ones which break down, and as they do, they help enrich the soil as well as improve the soil structure. Whichever mulch you choose, they will usually help cut down on slug and snail damage. They'll also help insulate the plant's roots so they're not so vulnerable to extreme changes in temperature. They also will help conserve moisture, and they will reduce the amount of weeds that grow around in between. So they're not just good for your plants, they're also good for you, because that means you're going to be doing less maintenance. Now, the best time to apply your mulch is either mid to late spring or in the autumn, and it needs to be applied onto moist soil after all the weeds have been removed. There are a couple of golden rules to follow when you're applying your mulch. The first is if you're applying it onto beds or borders that have already had mulch applied, what you want to do is just go along and fluff up that mulch, because what these biodegradable mulches tend to do is, as they slowly break down, they form a crust on top of the soil. So just make sure that that's sort of broken up a bit. The next rule is to get the depth right. Now, you don't want to be too stingy with it, but equally you don't want to pile it up around the base of the plants. I tend to find that a level of about 2 to 3 inches is absolutely perfect. Now, another rule is you don't want to smother low-growing plants, so just make sure that they're not covered up. And finally, never ever bank your mulch up around the base of the stems, because this can damage the stems and actually cause them to rot. So when you're applying it, I tend to make it sort of slightly deeper, and this is actually the area where the plant's roots are. They're not right at the base, the very base where the stems are of the plant. And that's the whole aim, really, is to encourage healthy roots. So when I've applied all this, all I need to do is give it a really good drink, and that's it, job done. I might be lucky today, there might be a heavy shower.